All right, guys, Fula coming to you with another video. This is actually my first time doing commentary on this clown, but a lot of people requested. They're like, "Why don't you do a commentary on this nigga, man?" And shout outs to O'Neill TV, and also shout outs to another channel holder. I think it's something about like Build Your Credit, who kind of sparked this commentary, on this clown. But if I'm long-winded, please forgive me, but let's begin.
You asked what I thought about that picture. You wanted us to share that, right?
Okay, what do you think about this picture?
Okay, this right here shows what he's thinking about himself. Okay, this guy, he talks about higher frequency and higher vibrations, and nobody's on the Christ consciousness and stuff. But if you're thinking with your dick like this dude is, there's not much Christ consciousness there thinking with your dick. Okay, we can see that by this picture. That's what he's thinking by.
I think you're focusing too much on your weaknesses.
Hold on, let me.
Said that until it becomes a strength.
Okay, so how would I acknowledge? Tell me how I would acknowledge. I want to learn. So you're the first person that made me say, "Oh, okay, she might have a point."
All right. So we see the manipulation is beginning. We said that he says I don't recruit people to come here. They just come on their own. Blah, 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 blah. This is part of the recruiting process right here. He makes it out to believe that, he's just wholesome, nice ass dude, but in reality we know what's to come, and I think the woman, the caller, it looks like she sees through the bullshit. That's why it looks like she's not really fazed by this dude trying to court her, because you can tell right now he's trying to court her. You can tell right now that he's trying to solicit her as a wife by saying what he just said right now.
Because your demon's the same as mine. Mine.
What's your demon?
So let me guess. You self-soothe. Hold on. You self-soothe, right? Mm-hmm. No matter how much you try to connect with another being, you're not going to, right? You always got one foot in, 1 foot out with a bench on the side.
This is true. When you look at it, how can he connect with someone when nobody's really connected with him throughout his whole life? I don't know how true this story is, but the story. Oh, I didn't have my mom, I didn't have my dad. My parents died before I was born. The real niggas in jail raised me, this, that, and the other. So, that's true. Like, how can he connect with? She do have a point there. I mean, how can he connect with someone when nobody has connected with this clown? We of course we hear the story. Oh, my parents died when I was born. I didn't have my mom and dad. The real niggas in prison raised me. So, if they didn't connect with him, how can he connect with someone else?
I'm listening. You got my ear.
Okay. I won't take your time, because I'm not for the clout. So when you're really ready, you hit me up. I've messaged you once or twice.
I don't know who you are and how to get in contact with you. But why can't we talk here?
You see that name right there?
I can't see it.
A chief to a chief. Remember, I sent you a message. I said, thank you for teaching me something about myself.
What did you learn?
I learned that if I did not check my demon back then, I would have been butt naked flip-flops with you.
So there you have it. You know, I guess you can say that he does serve a good purpose, you know, like there is a purpose that is served. Like he said this before too, and I guess this is one thing that people can take from him. He said, if I'm doing it the wrong way, you do it the right way. You do it the way that is supposed to be done, you know, and you do it the way that it should be done, this, that, and the other. So, I mean, I guess you can say he does serve one purpose, but this is the only purpose he serves, is showing you what not to do. Okay, but let's continue.
That's what I learned. I would have been doing the same thing, utilizing.
When you say, I swear I'm not being defensive. I will not be defensive. Okay, don't be afraid. I'm listening, and I swear to God,
so listen,
I'm not being defensive.
Look. Your crew got me down there. You can go back in the chat. I'm serious.
What's wrong with you?
I'm going to prove to you. No, because I know you. You're going to rationalize when I say something that hits
I'm not going to rationalize.
Yeah, you are. Listen. You will find me when you hear, and it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just going to show you how to. I'm just going to show you how to get yourself in check.
You're speaking in abstract. Like my mind doesn't. You have
okay, it's not abstract. It's very
logical. When you have me on some logical stuff, and then now you went left. I don't understand what's up with that.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is just a sign of his dumbass that he can't really fathom. He's really not as intelligent as people he makes himself out to be. You know, when people do have common sense, that's when he doesn't understand them the most. You know, when people don't make sense, that's when he understands them. You know, so that just goes to show you where his brain is so far warped at that he can't even understand like the common folk. And, you know, that's one thing. That's one defining characteristics of prophets, of messengers. They're able to relate to the common folk, you know, but apparently he's not able to do that because this nigga ain't a prophet or a messenger. This nigga's a fraud.
You will contact me and we will have an exchange without your entourage, not your entourage, but your audience.
Well, why not? Why can't you?
Because I
feel like my life.
Because I don't want to talk to your mind.
What do you want to talk to?
I'm not talking to your mind. And when you're in front of the camera, your mind is running things.
No, it's not. That's not true. I'm me. I'm serious.
I'm his age.
No, what I'm saying is I'm me whether people are watching or not. I've trained myself to be that because I have to be authentic to help other people.
Okay, well, you haven't been authentic thus far. Authentic dude would not tell a woman to leave behind 4 kids. Authentic dude would not do that. Authentic dude would not tell a woman to leave behind kids, period. Authentic dude would not even have that woman refer to those kids as attachments. So no, you're not an authentic dude. You're a fraud, a fake, a phony, and I'm going to continue to ether you as long as you're on this earth.
I'm the same way offline as I am online.
Okay, and that's a damn lie because you're probably worse offline. I mean, let's be honest. When Mr. Marquez called up and asked, why did you hit my daughter and bust her nose? And you said, Oh, because she made me upset. We can only imagine what you're doing offline, you know?
Always just me.
Okay. So we'll do this exchange for a couple minutes and then I'll be done. Let me ask you this.
You also notice that he has a lighter in his hand. So, you know, who knows what he's smoking? You know, he could be hitting the glass for all we know.
You had said that you were a narcissist not too long ago, right?
I said I have characteristics of a narcissist, and everybody...
And here he is again trying to backpedal. You know, here he is again trying to flip the script. This nigga did say he was a narcissist, okay? This nigga even said he's a dictator, okay? This nigga even says he wants people brainwashed to have his brain, okay? Here we go again. Here's where the lies begin.
That has high self-esteem does.
Okay.
And that's not true either. People with high self-esteem, they're not narcissists. You know, some people with high self-esteem, they have quiet confidence and they just carry themselves in that way with quiet confidence. I can name a couple of people who have quiet confidence, and that confidence just resonates through their actions, through how they walk, and not by putting others down, and not by being idiots and drawing attention to themselves, and trying so hard to draw attention to themselves with controversy and stuff. It just comes out naturally.
So, how many children do you have?
None.
There you go, right there. There you go. That tells you all you need to know about this nigga right here. We know he has 4 children, okay? But look at how this nigga just said none. And this is who you call the Christ? A deadbeat dad? One who just produced illegitimate kids and just said thank you and doesn't care for them? This is your Messiah? In my Killmonger voice, is this your king? Get the hell out of here.
So I'm talking to your mind right now.
You're not talking to my mind. I'm
That's
talking
not
to you.
us. How many children have you procreated? Okay. Biologically, you have 4 children, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Listen, hold on. Everything that you have been trying to work through, right? You say your generational curses, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think caused those generational curses?
I don't even have the generational curses. I'm here to...
Yeah, right. Get the hell out of here, nigga. The fact that you have 4 kids and you're not taking care of those kids shows that you have some kind of curses on you. And the fact that you're willing to produce more kids without any attachment shows that you're willing to, that you have some kind of curse on you. So get the hell out of here with that crap. And another fact is that this nigga, basically, you know, he says, oh, the best way for my message to spread is through my genetics. You know, let's look at it right now. Is any one of his kids spreading the message? Is any one of them, even the ones who are of age, mature enough, spreading the message that he has? Or the lack thereof message he has? I don't think so.
Heal the generational curses of my people.
Okay. So can we acknowledge that your carbonation has went through transitions how many times?
Transitions, don't interrupt me, please. Go ahead, what are you gonna do? Transitions. Yeah, everyone goes through transitions. That's just part of life, right. Metamorphosis.
But not everybody keeps repeating the same, attempting the same thing with the same steps, with the same outcome.
Booyah. There you go. I mean, this nigga doesn't seem to learn. You know, he keeps on seeming to do the same thing over and over again. Basically, what he does is, you know, he hopscotches to one country, gets in trouble in that country, gets kicked out of that country, hopscotch to another country, gets an Airbnb in that country, and then ends up getting kicked out of that country as well. And, you know, it's only a matter of time before it happens here in Panama as well. You know, he says he's not in Panama, but we know he is.
Over and over again to fail. That's not
true. Okay, well, tell me. Listen. I'm listening to you. I just want you to show me where the loop is at. Show me where the loop.
The root to your problem stems from childhood, right? You learn to love from your mother and then your father.
Look at him, like a deer in headlights, okay? Look at his face. Like, it looks like a deer, you know, basically in headlights. He doesn't know what to say. I mean, come on now. This dude said he used to hump everything when he was a child. This dude even said he let a dog lick his penis when he was a kid. So, I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect? His mother and father didn't give him that kind of love, you know, but just because his mother and father didn't give him that kind of love, it does not justify him doing the fuckboy shit that he's doing to other people.
What did you learn from your mother and your father?
Nothing. They weren't there. They died when I was born.
Okay. Which you're repeating the same steps with your seeds that you've already created.
Yep. That's it in a nutshell. You know, this nigga talk about like, oh, you know, my parents weren't there when I was younger. You know, oh, my parents, I was a crack baby, this, that, and the other. You know, I had to come up on my own. You know, the niggas in jail raised me. Well, look at what's happening. Niggas doing the same thing with his kids.
No, that's not true.
What's that mean?
Hello?
You think your kids are going to feel better to know that their father is alive, but not in their life?
I'm not the reason why they're not in my life. Their mothers are.
You're part of the reason, nigga. I mean, you beat their asses. I mean, you beat their mother's asses. I mean, obviously, that wouldn't be a good look for a kid to witness their father beating the crap out of their mother and doing it Mike Tyson style. Not even going beyond yoking up the mother, but actually literally pounding the mother. So that wouldn't be a good look for them to witness anyway.
What do you mean?
Their mothers are the reason why they're not in my life. I didn't choose.
Okay, so they stopped you from seeing. They went to court and put restraining orders.
No, they live a lifestyle that I don't agree with when it comes to my children.
Okay, I don't care. Even if you don't agree with the lifestyle, that doesn't mean that you don't be in the children's lives, okay? You still be in the children's lives. You still try to, well, you can't really teach them how to be morally upright people because you yourself ain't morally upright. But this is the type of things this nigga does, man, is, and you guys who follow him are really stupid, okay? Because he's showing you right now what type of dad he is. And if this is an example of a dad that, you know, that you want, then I have nothing to do with you. You know, and if I see you down the street, I won't even acknowledge you, basically. I'll acknowledge you. I'll acknowledge you how, you know, some uppity Africans acknowledge you. You know, that's how I'll do. I'll be an uppity African to your ass, you know.
Okay, so then you left your seeds in Babylon by themselves, without giving them the example of righteousness.
I am living the example of righteousness.
Not really. I mean, come on now. Righteousness is not begging for donations. Righteousness is not living off of someone else's dime and not doing crap. And I mean, you're not even doing anything to show for this. I mean, all you do literally is sit around on YouTube, basically, and just tell stories and just give this pseudo knowledge, which is not even knowledge. You know, you made a whole teaching about Popeye's chicken and how it's brain controlling people. Last time I checked, people have a choice if they want to eat chicken or not, nigga. You sound stupid.
They're gonna know that if you're not.
Well, I put the knowledge out there, and if they're meant to receive that, they will receive it. No, just like anybody else.
There's nothing new under the sun, babe.
Okay, so but there is new information that comes around in a certain time.
Wrong again. There's, as she said, there's nothing new under the sun. Basically, we know all of Nature Boy shit is recycled. We know all that shit comes from Google. We know all that shit. We can research it our damn selves. You know, all the shit he says has been said before. It may have been said in a different way, but it's definitely been said before. Cut out the bullshit, nigga.
So we are in a certain time and place called the age of information.
It's withheld, and then it's let go in an organized fashion.
Right. So what I'm saying.
And while this is true, this is very, very true. The other thing is, which they don't believe in, unfortunately, because of their leader, is it's in books as well. You know, this knowledge is in books. And so because they don't believe in reading, you know, they'll never grasp the fact that, you know, this knowledge is also in books, you know. So this is another thing in which he fails to realize.
You create chaos to cause order.
Okay. Yeah, right. The cycles or whatever, but we're in a certain cycle right now where, first of all, the children don't belong to me. I didn't make those children.
Okay, so you didn't stick your dick in those women, huh? You didn't do that? You didn't bust in those women? This nigga will try to like weasel out of every single thing. It's ridiculous. And this is who you call Christ, though. This is who you call Christ. This is who you call an enlightened leader. This is who you call a chief. A real chief would take responsibility of his seeds. Okay? A real chief wouldn't do what colonizers do, and that's leave behind kids. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something, man. When you know, and this is for both colonialism, and this is both in I want to say in slavery as well. What Master did, one thing that Master did is Master used to, you know, plant his seeds in colonized subjects or in slaves, and Master used to not claim those kids, okay? And used to let them basically let them grow up alone. Okay? He doesn't sound like no chief to me. He sounds like master.
Those children were a part of the cosmic alignment. I didn't make them. They came through me. Neither did my family, neither did my mom or dad make me. Matter of fact, you don't have a choice to be pregnant or not. You don't have that choice. That child is...
Wrong again. That's why they have abortions. That's why they have Plan B. I mean, sometimes these options may not be the most popular options, but they do give you the choice whether or not you are going to be pregnant. So again, wrong.
Coming through you, whether you like it or not. That child was coming through you. It don't belong to you. It's a cosmic alignment. And that child does not belong to anyone. Point blank.
Okay, here we go with the bullshit again. It belongs to, let's put it this way. The Most High has entrusted a child upon the mother and the father. Although we all know that we live alone and we're going to die alone. And our ultimate return is to our Lord. The Lord does basically place a child on the earth as a trust to the mother and father, and that child can either serve as a reward to the mother and child, or it can serve as a curse to the mother and child, depending on how the child is brought up. So again, this nigga's wrong.
Period. That child is
if you don't have sex, you won't be baby.
But the sex is also part of the cosmic alignment. Everything is in divine timing. It's bigger than what you're not in control. And that's what we have to learn. We're not in control. And so the child makes itself.
Oh no, I disagree. I disagree.
And yes, you are in control. You're in control where you stick your dick, nigga. You're in control of that. So go ahead and miss me with that bullshit, because I see what it is. I see what the risk is of like laying down with someone that you don't want to lay down with. So it's up to you, the person, to be very selective of who you lay down with. So you're in control of where you put your dick, nigga. The hell out of here. And you follow this guy? Stupid asses.
The soul summons itself here for karmic reasons, or for whatever reasons, for cosmic reasons. It summons itself here. You're just a portal that it came through. That's all it is. It's cosmic timing and alignment. The child birthed itself. It birthed itself and it came through you. You had no control.
You're rationalizing. You're rationalizing.
Listen.
And that's what he always does. He always rationalizes his mistakes, every time. I remember there was one time where the nigga G-checked him. I mean, that nigga G-checked him. He said, "You're not a man. You had gay sex. You did bestiality." He G-checked him. This nigga tried to rationalize it and say, "Oh, there's a difference between a male and a man." He always does this.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Don't cut me off. I said that the baby's coming through you. None of us can predict or make that baby like that, because the baby's going to come through. It's just something that happens naturally. And even when a woman is pregnant, she's going through these trimesters that we have collectively understood after time. Why do people like cars?
I didn't mean to do that. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back. My bad. I didn't mean to. Okay, here it is right here.
understood at the time, but the baby is coming whether she likes it or not. I don't know if you had children before, but that baby that baby was doing things that you had to get with. You had to get with. The baby was doing what it needs to do. It do what it needs to do. It's coming. You didn't have no. The baby is growing. You got to eat, and it's something that's beyond you. Is what I'm saying.
Not really, because I mean, looking at you, we see the results of crack, and with that being said, the parents are actually in control. Let's say the parents decided to not be on crack or be on something, you probably would have came out a lot different, but that wasn't the case. And so it is up to you what you put in your stomach and what you feed your child and whatnot. And so, again, more bullshit trying to justify him leaving his kids behind, and more bullshit trying to justify all the other ones leaving kids behind. And we know there's at least 3 of them who did leave kids behind.
Having a baby.
So if I didn't have sex, the baby still would have came.
That is something beyond you. Sex is something beyond you. Damn.
Okay. Basically, what this translates to is I can't control my own dick, so I'm going to try to justify it by saying sex is beyond me. Sex is beyond humans because I can't control my own dick, and I can't control where I put my dick. That's basically what this is code for.
There.
No, if I didn't engage and first, the baby.
Because I don't think you understand what I'm saying to you. The baby does not belong to you. It came through you on its own journey. It's just plain and simple. The baby is on.
I was the portal. I was the portal.
The father's penis was the portal, and then you became the portal. So half of it came through your father, half of it came through the mother, and the mother incubated it without a choice. She incubated. It was a cosmic reaction, and the baby came through you. Now the baby looks like you biologically to make you care enough to care for it to get on its own and then go into its journey and go into its purpose. But the being and the entity does not belong to you.
Well, I could have swore I belonged to my parents, even to this day, hell, even my grandparents, shit. My grandparents are even ones to check me and be like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? Everything okay? So here we have it again. This nigga's trying to justify his actions because we know his actions are messed up and we know his actions are shady. So, same thing, like usual.
It's only your responsibility.
No,
it is only your responsibility. Listen to what I'm saying to you.
Okay.
It is only your responsibility up until a certain point, and then you have to let go, and they have to come into their purpose no matter what you train them to think they're going to be, what they were designed to be, no matter what you think the day they were born.
But I'm pretty sure babies, like infant babies, are not really designed to be let go and be put on their own journey. And the way I look at it, all the members left behind infant babies. They didn't leave behind teenagers. They didn't leave behind young adults who already semi had it figured out. They left behind people, let's just say entities that were babies, literally.
They had a cosmic contract to be here. They were gonna, because my mom and dad dropped me off here. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? My journey was already configured the day I was born. And so we're not in control of this. All we can do is what we can control and have influence over. I don't have the influence to raise my children, apparently, because their mothers decided to say, I'm going to take my child and raise it the way the fuck I want to raise it.
And we can see why they did that. I mean, if they were to let you raise their child, I mean, let's be honest, all those children were going to learn is how to eat potatoes and avocados and stick their dick into everything moving. They weren't going to learn any skills that would actually enable them to live in nature, enable to be like self-sufficient, enable them to actually, you know, live a lifestyle in which would be like healthy and be natural and be, you know, conducive to their well-being.
And I said, I don't want my child to be raised like that. And it didn't matter. And I would refuse to go to another man that had nothing to do with me making my son, my daughter. I refuse to go to another man and ask him for permission to get visitation rights or rights to have my child. Fuck that system.
So you refuse to you refuse to do that. You refuse to ask to visit your children, but you didn't refuse to have a doctor stick a finger in your ass. You didn't refuse porno, gay porn and gay stripper, how should I say it, gigs, when the same man you said you wouldn't ask is the same man that you were working for when you were doing that shit. Okay, dude.
You don't. You don't. Let me finish. But what I said was I will dedicate my whole existence but I educate everybody my voice can touch. And this is what I've dedicated my...
You see how he shapeshifted, right? Every time you see the screen mess up like that, every time you see, like, that's one thing you have to understand. In his eyes, he doesn't really have any, what you would call a cornea. His eyes are just straight out black. You know what I mean? Like, they're just straight black. There's no, like, color in his eyes. That's because he is a reptilian hybrid, okay? Every time the screen messes up like that, that's him shapeshifting, basically. Just giving you a heads up.
I took the pain, I took the suffering from me not having my children, and I converted it into energy to put out the knowledge that I'm putting out, to live the life that I've given.
Again, this nigga doesn't really have any knowledge. I mean, really, I in the show, in the comment section, please give me some knowledge that this pitiful Negro has taught that, you know, basically can be applied to my life. You know, give me 5 things. Give me 5 things that he's taught that can be applied to my life that I may not be doing right now. Okay? Give me 5 of them.
So, yeah, I really don't understand what you're meaning as far as the generational curse or repeating that. I think that I know why I'm here. I know why I'm here. Because you think about this, and I'm gonna end it right here. I know why I'm here. I know my purpose, and I can explain it to you pretty clear. So, yeah, I would like to hear what you think.
Okay, I know your purpose. In fact, I told you, I sent that to you in a private message. So that's
Can you repeat it? I would like to hear it.
That's what gave me the understanding to give me patience.
Can you repeat it? I would like to hear it.
You, as well as many others from...
There's no one like me.
That's where you're wrong. Jim Jones, Charles Manson, the Antichrist, basically, the mini Antichrist. There's a lot of mini Antichrists. He just happened to be one of them. Baphomet, the serpent in the Garden of Eden. You know, so there are a lot like you, actually.
You, like me, have acquired the ability in order to gain the knowledge to apply it in life to become wisdom to share with our seeds, our lineage, okay? But in order to successfully do that, we have to stop the cycle, which means we acknowledge what the trauma is, where it came from.
Can somebody bring me a phone? All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
So we acknowledge the trauma, okay? So in my culture, it's going to our elder to retrieve that part of our spirit that was left at whatever trauma, whether it would happen at a child, whether it happened at 13, 14, you understand?
Yeah.
I think first, abandonment.
Okay, so I don't think you get what I'm saying, but I think you.
No, I get what I
think I get
see,
what you're saying.
The problem.
Right.
Listen, the problem is you got to acknowledge that you do feel you were hurt, okay, and then you utilize that to heal, share that with everybody, but you got to be honest. You can't keep repeating the same mistakes and then expect people to still look at you with the same grades.
Okay, so all right.
Having one baby, going through that, the mama, y'all split, you can't deal with that, but then having more in that same manner, now you've created 5 more creations of your own self that are going to endure greater if the mothers are not straight. I'm praying that the mothers are balanced.
Okay, again, my children have nothing to do with me.
So this is the guy you got. This is the guy that you wanna you guys want to support, though. This is the guy you guys want to support. This is the guy on the first video that I ever made that you guys said, well, you know, perhaps he's here for a purpose. Perhaps he's here to, you know, he was sent with a message and stuff like that. Okay, so his message is to be a deadbeat dad, in essence. And a lot of people sent that message before.
Anything to do with cosmic alignment. Number one, they're their own entities. They're on their own journeys, and that's just that. Okay, so let's go to the higher self on that point. Now, as far as my journey, I want to read something to you, and I want you to, if you can grasp it. I don't know if maybe you might not be able to grasp it.
Okay, here we go again. Basically, he's trying to find a way out. And usually the way he finds a way out is trying to confuse people. And, you know, he's going to say something far out stupid that doesn't make any sense. And he's going to act like basically, oh, it's that person's fault because they didn't get it. When in reality, it's actually his fault because he basically says shit that doesn't make sense.
But in John 1, in the Bible, verse 9, it says, the true light that gives light to everyone has come into the world. He was in the world and through the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came.
Notice on his shoulder, too, he has that skin shit going on his shoulder. That's how you know he's a reptilian serpent guy, because his skin be shedding like a damn snake. So, yeah, that's how you know he's a serpent. Basically, half human, half hybrid serpent.
To that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who did believe in his name, he gave the rights to become children of God. Children of God. Listen to me very closely. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision or a husband will, but born of God. So my children are not particularly.
Okay, and so there he is trying to like justify and use the Bible to justify his foolery. But I guarantee you there's verses in the Bible that basically talk about like good parenting and things like that. train up a child in the way they should go, and things of that nature. So now he's trying to interpret the Bible in order to justify his mishaps. And I can guarantee you, if you go to a Bible scholar, he's going to say, no, that's not what that verse means at all.
Born of man. My children are those that vibrate to my frequency. I'm the Messiah of the African American people, and those that can hear me, I give them.
No, you're not. Shut that shit up. If you're the Messiah of African American people, how many fingers am I holding up right now? Please shut up.
Rights to be called God's children. So there's two sides of me that you need to understand. I'm a demigod, which means I have a human side of me, which you see biologically, my children, biological children, and then there's the God side of me.
So basically, let's just rephrase that and say there's two sides of him. There's a human side to him, and then there's the reptilian side to him. More often than not, we see the reptilian shape-shifting side, the serpent side. If you look into his eyes right now, you'll see that, those are eyes of like a reptilian, that those eyes are of basically a hybrid species. He looks like a python, or he looks like a lizard. You know what I mean? So let's keep it a buck.
And see, the God side of me has come with a mission, and that mission has a whole different kind of child. A child not born of the descendant, of natural descendant, or human decision, or a husband's will, but born under God. So these are the gods and goddess. I'm birthing and raising gods and goddess. So these are the children that I'm focused on, because these are the main children. And some of
you said you're raising God's
nation. Yeah, the kingdom of God is here, and I am the king of the kingdom of. I'm the Messiah. I'm the messenger.
Okay. Last time that I checked, the kingdom of God didn't have people malnourished. The kingdom of God didn't have people with lice. Kingdom of God didn't have people leaving behind their families. The kingdom of God actually brought families together, from the reports we have. And also the kingdom of God did not basically transmit STDs around to different people.
Where are you training to be God?
These are my children.
But your biological children aren't.
They very well might not be my children. You see what I'm saying? On a God level. But biologically, they are my children. Do you understand what I'm saying? Biologically. But on a spiritual level, as mean as the mind, on a mental level, they might have astrological energies that might not allow them to enter the kingdom of God. So what you must realize is that the children may be messengers to their mothers, because the mothers couldn't get the message from me.
Here we go again. If you're not in your kid's life, they're not gonna like know. They're not gonna know what you're about, if you're not in the kid's life. So how are they gonna convey the message to their mother if you're not in their life and they don't even know about you? It's not gonna just like magically happen.
So what I always see is that the woman.
Who's going to give you the message?
I am the messenger. I have the message. I speak the message. I teach it every day.
Why do you need?
I am the higher self. I'm the one with the message. My life, everything that I am the message.
Well, I can't say that his life is a message on like what not to do. Don't get sodomized, right? Don't become an alcoholic. don't transmit STDs, don't go to a tropical place without knowing the language, basically, of that place that you're at, and avoid getting hemmed up by customs in that place.
The cosmic alignment. So if you don't know that, then that means that you're probably not chosen to know that. But those that hear my voice are my sheep, and they are my sheep, and they.
No, I get it. I get it. Listen, I'm a daughter of a true architect. My grandfather, he's sheep. He herded goats and sheep.
Still talking about.
Listen.
You're still talking
I am
about,
a natural descendant. Listen, I am the contradiction to you and everybody else.
Right. I'm just talking about you're still talking about a natural descent, and I'm not talking about a natural descent nor human decision or husband's will. I'm talking about born of God. I'm talking about born of the mind of the Christ consciousness. Everybody is not for that. You have to be reborn into the kingdom of.
Okay. Translate. Everybody who has a mind of their own is not for his message. Basically, this is what this translates to. Everybody who thinks logically is not for his message. Everybody who actually does research is not for his message. Everybody who actually reads and things like that is not for his message. That's all that translates to.
God, the Christ consciousness. So just because I have biological children, that doesn't mean that they're supposed to walk with me on this journey. That may be.
Well, no, they are your responsibility.
What I realized is that they're more for their mother than me, because I'm a part of that child, and that child is going to teach them lessons that they couldn't get from me. So I realized these women walk away from me, and they still have me with them. So 23 chromosomes is right there with them. So I am with them.
But why did they walk away from you?
Because they're in their lower self. Because they have work to do.
Nah, because you beat their asses. That's why they walked away from you. I got receipts for that shit. You know, I can show the receipts for what you did to your baby mama. You made her look like you were that it was like Mike Tyson. You know, you went Mike Tyson on her. So we got receipts for that. You know, that's why they walked away from me.
They come here to learn, to get to the point where I'm at, to get to my mind, to be able to stay in my mind. And
okay, so your last wife with your daughter walked away because she was in her lower self.
Absolutely. If you was
Not really. I think she walked away because of all the bullshit, you know. And it was just a matter of time before that shit was gonna sell. You know, it was only a matter of time.
following, you would know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she didn't walk away because of dysfunction? Toxic with
Inner dysfunction. She had inner dysfunctions that she couldn't. No. We were actually.
And you didn't have inner dysfunction?
I learned a lot. I've evolved and opened up because of that. It made me tap into my North Node.
No, it's made you get worse, actually. You know, you're now worse than you are before. You know, that there was no lessons learned, basically, by you. You're basically way worse than you are before, you know. So, miss me with that shit.
And I was very patient with her. I'm not usually like that. So it taught me.
So, blooding her nose is being patient, nigga? Basically, beating her ass and then cutting her hair is a sign of patience, and yoking her up is a sign of patience. Okay, Playboy.
It brought me more into my journey. It brought me more into my purpose. And I'm glad that I got that experience with her, because that let me, you know what I'm saying, it really brought me into my journey even more. You know what I'm saying? So
now,
it wasn't.
I promise you, hold on. I promise you, if you take that wisdom that you just learned with her, right? You take that, you apply that with humility, and watch your world change.
Well, my world
because
won't
you're
be the same
accepting
again.
because you're accepting the responsibility of how you got there. You're humbling yourself to the Most High. Okay, to the Most High. So you may be raising gods, but I've already been there. Okay, my children are not demigods. They're gods. I birthed them.
There you go. There you go. You saw him shapeshift, right? You saw that, right? I'm not the one. I can't be the only one seeing this shit. Okay? You saw that nigga just shapeshift right in front of your eyes. Don't tell me you didn't see that.
Okay. And they'll be then as their gods. They'll be with me, and they will.
Listen. I don't know if Eliseo Bishop is your real name.
That's not my real name.
I don't know. I'm thinking of like a Mike Kelly or something. It's something really.
Well, he did say he was a fan of R. Kelly, and he did say he loved R. Kelly, so that's not too far off.
Simple.
No, my name is Chief.
One of your avatars is Chief. Like Father Tahuti, like Nature Boy, all of these things.
My name is Chief.
Right now it's Chief, and I address you as Chief.
There you
go. Listen, the name that you were given at birth, I want you to do the
was someone else's idea.
Listen to me. Not in control.
Listen to what I'm saying to you.
Right.
The name that I was given,
the idea was influenced by something higher than that.
I am. I'm self-made. I'm self-created. I
mean, part of that is right. I mean, it was his choice to be a stripper, a gay stripper. It was his choice to be a gay porn star. It was his choice to go into the system and probably get his salad tossed there. It was his choice to go to the tropics and basically do what they wouldn't let him do here. Let him do that there, you know. So, I mean, it definitely was his choice. I mean, you know, these were his choices, like to do some of the foolery he did, you know. So I guess you can say, yeah, you know, he did create himself. I mean, I don't know too many other people who would like intentionally like want to create like a gay stripper or, you know, a child predator and the like thereof, you know.
I am in control of my reality, and
Well, I don't know if you were in control of your reality in Nicaragua, player, because they sure did come and get you and yoke you up, put you in jail. I don't know if you were in control there, man. Same with Mexico. I don't know if you were in control when they raided your shit, you know. That doesn't look like control to me.
I am in control of my destiny, and I am in control of what I will be called. So I am Chief, and I will be addressed as Chief, and that is my name, and that is what I will go by.
Right. I'm not saying to change your name to be addressed by, because my given name was not Majesty. In fact, that's the title I gained, because when you become an empress and you sit on the throne, you gain that title. Okay? So I'm no longer a chief because I'm no longer running my tribe. So right now your title is chief, but your given name at birth, whether it was someone's idea, it was inspired for a reason, just like Eliana was. Have you done the etymology on Eliana? Do you know what inspired that name?
I gave her that name.
Right. Why?
Because I always wanted to name my daughter Eliana.
Why?
It came to me. I don't know. I liked it.
Exactly. So do the etymology on Eliana, and that will tell you the importance of your daughter that you just let walk away.
I let walk away? What would you rather me have done?
when it comes to your children, you humble yourself and do what's right.
No.
Well, I mean, you gotta expect that this nigga's not humble. This nigga even said he's arrogant. This nigga even said he's a narcissist. This nigga even said these things. So he's not gonna humble himself. You know, that's just the bottom line. It's not in that nigga's DNA to do that.
No.
Because if your parents did the same for you,
I will never humble myself to Babylon. I will never break.
No, it's not bad.
So in essence, he'll never humble himself just to be a normal father. You know, according to him, being a normal father is Babylon. Wow.
Your lower self, I will never humble myself to my lower self. She's weak. She can never stand in my presence.
Jeez, I love you.
No, you don't. You don't know me. You can't love me because you don't know me. No, because I know you a certain kind of devil. You can't creep up on me.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Get ready for the fireworks. You see, this is why this dude will never ever, like succeed. He'll never ever succeed. Because if someone is being sincere and trying to help you out and give you something that may benefit you, you do this. All right, so just get ready for the explosion to happen. This is why this nigga will never succeed, is because, people try to give him advice. People try to be like friendly. People try to reason with him. People try to have a clear logic with him. And, he's so big-headed and so full of himself that he'll never take heed. But here we go. Get ready for the fireworks. Get ready.
I know you. So I have to rebuke you.
I'm not trying to creep on you.
I have to rebuke you.
I have no agenda.
Because I'll be damned if I humble myself to that motherfucking system.
Okay, so listen.
Look at him shapeshift. Look at him. Look at that shit. Tell me he's not shapeshifting right there. Tell me that the reptilian side isn't coming out of him. Please.
Listen.
Look me in my eyes. Do you see me? I'll be damned. I will die before I humble myself to that motherfucker.
What is it that makes you so angry about having
the system? The system makes me angry. The way life is making me angry.
Right.
It's fucked up.
Oh God. So let me get this straight. Depending on others' donations to eat isn't messed up. Depending on others' donations to keep the power on isn't messed up. Sitting around on YouTube all day, depending on those deposits to come in, isn't messed up. These things aren't messed up to you, huh? Really, nigga? Okay.
It is. As a black...
It makes me angry. It should make every man angry.
Absolutely.
That's where your anger should be pointed. And you need to use that anger. You need to use the anger, and you need to educate people. Use the anger and get up every day. Use the passion every day and get up.
Listen.
Okay. Again, some of us, quote unquote, living in Babylon, have different ways of education. My way happens to be books, and also taking practical steps to apply it is what I need to apply in order to get to somewhere where I'm trying to get to, and by him just saying, oh, blame it on the system, that's just a cop out for basically saying I don't want to put the groundwork in to do it, what it is I need to do.
That's why I tell young females, whenever my viewers used to come to me and be like, look, check this dude out. Okay? I automatically can look at you and without hatred understand where the pain come from. You don't have to tell me.
Where does the pain come from? Okay, so you saying that there's pain here?
Yes.
The pain is my people's. Their struggle.
That's a damn lie. The only pain is people, millions of people in drones not listening to your ass. That's the only pain, basically. Basically, the only pain is not everybody agreeing with your ass. Shut the hell up.
The pain is my people, the black man's struggles. The pain you look at and hear in my voice, and you hear in me, is my people's struggle.
No, it's not. Shut that shit up. Because if it was your people's struggle, you would have stayed here and been on the ground level doing some shit. You know? If that was really your struggle, your people's struggle, you wouldn't have just left and, you know, basically live off of other people's dimes who are struggling here. So miss me with that bullshit.
Yours.
No, it's my people's. I'm a representative of that. It's in me.
Listen,
I am my people.
I grew up in the post.
I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Get away from me.
Look at him shapeshift, man. I keep on trying to tell you, look at that shit happen. That nigga is shapeshifting. Look at him.
Get away from me.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him shapeshift. Look.
Pardon my back.
Look.
I'm not talking to you. Why would I talk to you? Trying to ease that white supremacy into my motherfucking ear. I don't want to hear that shit, goddammit. Trying to ease that white supremacy in my motherfucking ear. Humble my...
It wasn't even white supremacy. It was just practical advice, basically.
Fuck what I humble myself to that system for. The fucking pain you hear here is my people's pain. Every black man in the motherfucking world locked up in the motherfucking cells, but you hear, nigga.
Not really. Some black dudes locked up in cells, they actually take responsibility for their actions and they actually come out and reform themselves and don't carry the same kind of behaviors in which they saw in jail.
The passion of all our struggles, child support, our women taking our fucking kids because of the system, nigga. I'm not mad at my motherfucking baby mama, I'm mad at the system, nigga. Fucking anger, nigga. Yeah, I'm mad. Fucking right, I'm mad at that shit. And I'm gonna use that anger to fuel my mission. To fuel everything.
What mission is that? What mission is that? What, tell me what mission that is. Tell me what it is, huh?
Everything I'm doing to get my message out every day, it pushes me to go further, nigga. Every time I think about my daughter, I use it. That's what keep me on this journey. I use it as fuel. So what you hearing is pain.
All right. Now, for all of his followers who may watch this, you cannot tell me this nigga is not shape-shifting right now. You cannot tell me that he's not a half breed, like a hybrid serpent or reptilian. You can't tell me he isn't.
You hearing my people pain. My people pain. Huh? Feel that. Huh? Feel the earth. Feel the human.
All right, so him wearing the tribal headdress is just another example of, you know, there's a saying, heavy is the head, it's like heavy is the head that's for the crown or something like that. And so because this nigga is so big-headed, you know, that headdress only weighs him down, basically, even more. You know, I'm surprised that his head hasn't dropped down to his kneecaps by now.
Feel humanity. I'm going through my people pain. Every nigga locked up in the cell. How the fuck can you be a god? You would not be in human form. Immortal Chris, is World News back? Ask World News what happened to my homosexual or my pedophilia charge. Ask World News, he creeping back in. He's creeping back in, y'all. We will hold him responsible for the false allegations of pedophilia and child abuse that he put on me. You will not forget.
Well, I mean, I don't know if there is charges for that. A lot of people say there are charges in that in the states that he likes to run away from. I don't know how true that is. But yeah, you know, I don't want to name any names, but there were some names clout chasing. You know, there were some names that really weren't sincere in having him like locked up, you know, in throwing away the key, but they were actually just doing it for fame. And all I gotta say is woe to them. You know, people actually wanted to see this guy locked up, and I was one of them who wanted to see him locked up for good, basically, who wanted to see him convicted. I was one of those people who wanted to really see that, but you know, other people had different ideas.
We will not act like you left for a little bit and you come back around, motherfucker. You and young Pharaoh have to explain to the people the fucking lies and deceit that you put out. Your false accusation and you're still attacking me, you have no right. You're still following, you're creeping back up like a little slithering snake. You think I can't see you, think I can't feel you, motherfucker. I'm watching you, you ain't watching me. I'm doing everything to you, you can't do nothing to me. Nothing, you have no power. Nothing without me, you're no one. No one would know about you at all if it wasn't for me. I give you your power. You see, you couldn't stay away. You love my energy. Why? Because it makes you somebody. That's why you are here to be my footstool. You played yourself. Are you going to explain that to the people? Welcome back, World News. Are you going to explain the false allegations of child molestation? Of the charges you said I had, how I wasn't getting out of prison? Here I am, I'm out of prison. Back in the tropics. Are you going to explain how the fuck you lied on me? Are you going to apologize about that, or are we going to act like that didn't happen? I'm back, motherfucker. Yeah. We know who you are. But I got an army with me, homie. I'm not by myself. You might think I'm by myself, but I'm not with myself, I promise you. It's an army of us. Invisible army. You can't even see it, nigga.
Well, you know, that means that there's just more. What he probably did, this is what I think, is he probably made another deal with the devil that, you know, he was like, yo, you know, I need some backup. These people are attacking me so much. I really need some help, some assistance in that, with that. And so the devil probably says, say no more, I got your back, but you have to do this in order to basically have my go ahead, you know. And so I'm thinking that yeah, he did probably make a deal with the devil.
See, your eyes only go from 400 to 700 nanometers, nigga. You don't know who the fuck you fucking with. I guarantee that. You don't know who the fuck you fucking with. You be sorry you did it, though. Where my wives at? I need to talk to you. Where my wives at? I need to talk to my woman. Calm me down, baby. Calm me down. Back to what we were doing. Talk to my babies. I love women. They're a beautiful distraction from my pains and sufferings.
That's a lie. He doesn't love women, because if he did love women, he would basically, you know how to respect women. But we know that not to be part of his forte is respecting women, you know. So we know that's a lie in itself. You know. Hold on just a minute. I think it's kind of buffering. for whatever reason. Let me go to my library. Okay, let me see. Shit's loading for some reason. I don't know why. Let's see what else he said.
Moon square Pluto. And now you spelling self the wrong way. I don't want to talk to you. Because now I got to learn how to cut ties. Because it's like, it says that in my moon square Pluto. Look, let me show you. Beautiful picture. Oh my God. I seen this picture on Tumblr. I just saved it. Can somebody find this woman for me right here and send her to carbonation?
Well, you hear how he laughed, like, you know, you hear his laugh is pretty sickly too, so I don't know why you would want to follow this guy. I mean, that's all I gotta say. It's like you're following a shape-shifting half human, half reptile, you know. Let me see if this one will work. Alright, cool. It looks like it's back.
Can't love me because you don't know me. No. Because trying to ease that white supremacy in my motherfucking head, humble myself. Back in. He's creeping back in, y'all. We will hold him responsible for the false allegations of pedophilia and child abuse that he put on me. You will not forget. We will not act like you left for a little bit and you come back around, motherfucker. You and young Pharaoh have to explain to the people the fucking lies and deceit that you put out. You false accusation and you're still attacking me, you have no right. You're still following, you're creeping back up like a little slithering snake. You think I can't see you, you think I can't feel you, motherfucker. I'm watching you, you ain't watching me. I'm doing everything to you, you can't do nothing to me. Nothing, you have no power. Nothing without me, you're no one. No one would know about you at all if it wasn't for me. I give you your power. You see, you couldn't stay away. You love my energy. Why? Because it makes you somebody. That's why you are here to be my footstool.
You see how the shape shifting occurs, and you know the reptilian behavior occurs. You know, you see it, right? Hopefully you guys do.
You played yourself. Are you going to explain that to the people? Welcome back, World News. Are you going to explain the false allegations of child molestation? Of the charges you said I had, how I wasn't getting out of prison? Here I am, I'm out of prison, back in the tropics. Are you going to explain how the fuck you...
He's not really in the tropics. If you're really in the tropics, basically you're basically living like I want to say you're living a pretty harsh life, you know, because you know tropics require you to get your own like irrigation sources. Tropics require you to like pretty much hunt for your own food. Tropics require you to you know, have a means of heat like that don't involve air conditionings and stuff like that, or has no tropics, like I mean heaters, like you have to find a different form of heat that is not attached to a heater. Same for air, you know, to stay cool you have to find a form of air that is not attached to air conditioning. You know, so that this goes to show what type of dude we're dealing with, you know. It's not living in the tropics, though.
Lied on me? Are you going to apologize about that, or are we going to act like that didn't happen? I'm back, motherfucker. Yeah. We know who you are. But I got an army with me, homie. I'm not by myself. You might think I'm by myself, but I'm not with myself, I promise you. It's an army of us. Invisible army. You can't even see it, nigga. See, your eyes only go from 400 to 700 nanometers, nigga. You don't know who the fuck you fucking with. I guarantee that. You don't know who the fuck you fucking with.
But he's supposed to be a god, and he's supposed to be the Messiah with language like this. Okay. You guys have fun with that.
You be sorry you did it, though. Where my wives at? I need to talk to you. Where my wives at? I need to talk to my woman. Calm me down, baby. Calm me down. Back to what we were doing. Talk to my babies. I love women. They're a beautiful distraction from my pains and suffering.
You don't love women, though. You love to use women, though. That's one thing you do love to do. You love to use women for food and all kinds of different sexual fetishes. We do know that. We know that. We know you love to use women. We know you don't love women, but we know you love to use women.
It's one of the fruits of life as a woman. So beautiful. It's one of the pleasures. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love you all. I really do. I love you all. I need you. I need you. I'm nothing without you. Where my babies at? What's up? Press 1 if you're my wife. Press 1. I need to know. Calm me down. Give me a back rub, a head rub or something, babe. I need to rub my feet. You know what I'm saying? Come talk to me.
So there you have it, man. I know I did my commentary. You know, I don't know if I'm going to do another commentary on this clown, but I may. But, I mean, there you have it. Like, you see what it is. Shout outs to the people who upload these videos, you know. I won't upload a whole video of this clown. You know, I just can't do it. But, yeah. But that's all I got, guys. Leave your thoughts. Leave your comments. All right. Enjoy, Rama.